Watagwan, Watagwan, welcome. Today is a wacky Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday. We're going to have a wonderful show for you guys today. Wonderful show. So, who do we got in the chat so far? Hello, Igwe's daughter. How's it going? Hello, Tamika. Hello, hello. Hello, Maria. Really, people. Welcome to the show, Maria. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, Needs Watches. Welcome to the show. Hello, Skincare Do's and Don'ts. Welcome to the show as well. So the question today is, can you realistically transform your body in just 4 months? Normally, I'd say obviously not, but, I think today's story might surprise you. There's some twists and turns going on there. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
You know what they're trying to make you believe. Women who are just beginning to strength train can expect to gain a pound of muscle per month in the first year. On what planet?
Oh, okay.
At what gym do they expect women to gain a pound of muscle for the first year? That's 12 pounds of muscle in a year.
Most guys would kill to gain 12 pounds of muscle in a year with all or significantly more testosterone than ladies. 12, yeah, that's crazy. That is straight up crazy. Craziness.
Natalie Portman on steroids. Well, that's what people are saying after the newest trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder has been released. In it, you see a jacked Natalie Portman with clearly visible delts, bis, and tris, looking like she put on a ton of muscle. And let's face it, actors need to look the part to play these movie character roles. You can't expect her to show up playing a superhero looking as she did as a ballerina in Black Widow. And so did she resort to taking PDs? Or is it the fact that she worked hard of it, experiencing newbie gains?
Interesting question. Could she have transformed in just 4 months without going on the special stuff? Newbie games, perhaps? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see.
Getting a pump, special camera angle, CGI? Well, it's actually a combination of many of these. And so in case you haven't seen what Natalie Portman's looked like in the past, she's always had a rather slender physique, fairly lean, looks.
This is one key thing, she's not starting from a bad place, right? She's not like I was when I was obese.
Kind of athletic. People like to call her toned. And although many people don't believe that the word tones mean anything, it actually has an actual definition. And when someone is toned, it means they have a little bit of muscle without a lot of fat. Gives them an athletic look. And so without question, she looks toned, even if you don't like that word. And so in preparation for this movie role, she trained hard for 4 months. And so do you think that 4 months of training is all it takes to make a night and day transformation? That you can go from skinny with hardly any muscles to looking like a jacked warrior in a movie? Of course not. But she was vegan and she added in protein shakes and she started lifting weights. So
he's clearly being sarcastic here, right? You can't just transform like that. You can't go from normal person to superhuman in 4 months. Not unless you actually have superpowers, like that spider biting Spider-Man, stuff like that, crazy stuff like that.
Newbie gains, that explains it. And so she did it because all these factors, the protein shakes and the training, she can do it.
Yes, Sec Amethyst, the protein shakes can do this for you. Believe me.
No, that's what you want to hear. What you want to hear is in 4 months, you can put on a ton of muscle so long as you have newbie gains, eat a bunch of protein, and train harder than last time. But what you need to hear is that you can't. You can lose an appreciable amount of body fat. Sure, most people can lose a ton of fat in 4 months.
This is true. If you think about it, right, if you're losing 2 pounds a week, right, that's 8 pounds in a month, 16 pounds, and actually throw a couple extra one in that first week or two. If you lose 20 something pounds, right, you will look noticeably different to people. Guaranteed. The clothes will fit different. You will look different, right? Not impossible. But of course, you have to know what you're doing. That's the one caveat there. You got to know what you're doing. Hire somebody who can coach you.
Building muscle takes about 10 times as long as losing fat. And so in 4 months, you can look a lot leaner, but you can't look a lot bigger. And so Natalie Portman says her training for the film was really...
And by bigger, this is not just for the guys, right? It's also in terms of ladies. They want those thighs to look a nice sweep. The derriere should be lifted a bit. Fat is not doing that. So when you guys talk about slim, thick, right? It's the muscle that's going to make things look good. It's not more fat. Getting fatter doesn't make the other fat look better. It doesn't work that way, right? You have to have muscle underneath there to make everything lifted and look better. Think Serena Williams' derriere or Beyonce's body. Think of these types of people. It's muscle with fat. It's not just fat.
Fun and included lifting heavy weights. She's also a vegan and took fitness supplements to up her protein intake during training. You really think that's going to put on a ton of muscle? Now, if she were to take steroids or performance-enhancing drugs, absolutely, in 4 months, she could get amazing improvements.
You heard what she said, right? In 4 months, she could get amazing improvements. This is where most people set themselves to fail because they go into this thinking, oh, I'm going to do this plan. I'm going to get amazing results. No, you're not. You can't get amazing results. This is just, it is what it is, man. Do not set yourself up to be disappointed. Thinking in 4 months, you're going to transform yourself back to the way you look like when you were 18 years old. It's not happening in 4 months. No. You can go back, but it's not happening in 4 months. You got to be realistic here. Got to be realistic.
But I personally do not believe that she did this. Of course she could have access to it. Of course she could. If she wants you, she's a millionaire. She can afford it. But I don't think she did. I don't see night and day transformations. I see a lady who lost a little bit of body fat, had some abs, and so looks amazing to the rest of the world. You would be mind blown to know just how little effort it actually takes to look amazing. All it takes is putting the fork down, training a little bit, and you'll look better than you are.
This is so true. Just got to put the fork down, train more, and got to know what you're doing. Got to know what you're doing. This is what he's implying as well, right?
And to the average person, seeing someone with a little bit of abs, that to them looks like they're on steroids. Wow, look at Natalie Portman, must be on steroids. Look at her. Really? She worked out hard for about 4 months. 4 months of hard work and you think she's on steroids? And so for me, this is good news. It means that for the most part, if you put in some effort, get a little bit leaner, the rest of the world are going to be like, wow, you might be on steroids. Imagine how big of a compliment that really is. Train hard for 4 months, must be on steroids. Of course, I've never really aimed to get bulky. It was very physical, so it was a lot of both agility work and strength work.
So first of all, even if she had wanted to get bulky, she could not get bulky. Not without PEDs, right? It's practically impossible for a lady to get bulky with just pure muscle. You guys don't have enough natural testosterone to do this. Just think of all the men in the gym who are trying to get big and muscular who cannot do this.
She said. And so in her mind, she's training to get bulky. She added, 4 pounds of muscle? Bulking up. What she did was she lost body fat, added muscle at the same time. So technically kind of recomping or possibly mean gaining.
This is what most people should strive to do, right? Lose fat, gain some muscle. Why? Obviously, you'll look better, right? You'll be leaner and you'll look more muscular if you're a dude. And if you're a lady, you'll be leaner and all the things you want to look bigger and curvier and firmer, like your derriere, your thighs, your calves, your arms. You don't have to be hiding your arms in long sleeve things. This is why you want muscle. This is why you want muscle.
She wasn't eating in a huge surplus, trying to pack on a ton of muscle and body fat. She was trying to get toned, have a little bit of muscle, lower amount of fat, and looking athletic. Add to that CGI. You don't think they add a few pixels here, a few pixels there, the right angle, the right lighting, Photoshop, and bam, you can look more jacked than last time. Used to be that a picture was worth 1,000 words, that seeing was believing. Not anymore.
That's fake footage. Yeah, they don't just fake the photographs anymore. They fake the video too.
It can be meaningless. You can Photoshop everything you want to see. So you don't even need to take PDs. They can make your body look like you took those PDs. Portman said she worked with a trainer for 4 months prior to shooting. 4 months. 4. Not 4 years. 4 months. And you're thinking she got jacked in 4 months. Since muscles take time to build, it's a myth that weightlifting makes women bulky overnight. Now get this, listen to what they're trying to make you believe. Women who are just beginning to strength train can expect, that's right, expect to gain a pound of muscle per month in the first year. On what planet, at what gym do they expect women to gain a pound of muscle for the first year? That's 12 pounds of muscle in a year. That would be the kind of gains that a man would be more than happy to get. For women, that would be exceptional. And so if you join...
When he says exceptional, you're talking world-class genetics. If you had these kind of genetics, more than likely, you would be doing some kind of sport. Maybe you're running in the Olympics, perhaps, right? We're talking very tiny percentage of the population, the global population.
The gym, don't expect to put on 12 pounds of muscle in a year. And every month that you train, it gets harder to gain more. Perhaps in the first 4 months you gain 4. Doesn't mean in the last 4 months you're also going to get 4. And so I really hate this, because what happens is most people will go to the gym, train, and if they don't see they've added 12 pounds of muscle in a year, they think they did something wrong.
I've run into this before with clients. Somebody's losing weight, putting on muscle, and they're like, man, I thought I'd see all these more results. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? It took you like 10 years to get in this bad state. You can't, after 2 months, you expect to transform. But Instagram, watching some YouTube videos, people have very unrealistic expectations. Very unrealistic expectations, right? Or they think they have some kind of genetic disadvantage or something, right? There's so many urban legends and myths out there that hold people back. Unfortunately, this holds them back.
When in actuality, most women probably gain half of that. Half of that, and you should be happy. 6 pounds of muscle on a woman, especially if you're losing body fat, going to make a very noticeable, visible change. And
very noticeable, visible change. You see, the key thing is, if you know what you're doing and you do it consistently, you will see changes. You will be noticeably different. Are you going to look like those people on Instagram? Most likely not.
so without the aid of CGI or special camera angles, lighting, pumping up, and so on, you see her walking around on the beach. Does this look like a woman who had to use PEDs to achieve this level of fitness? Does she look like she just competed in the CrossFit World Championships? Or does she look pretty lean, smaller legs, not much muscle, but lean? Yeah, a little bit of body fat, still lean though, but not noticeably large or massive muscles. And so considering the fact that she's 40, or even if she were 20, she has a way above average looking physique. Most women do not look this good. Face, body fat percentage, body composition, and so on. She appears to be toned. She doesn't have a tiny, small waist.
This is a very good point. I mean, just look at her collarbone and her neck, right? She's starting from a very good place. The same thing for a guy who's already very slim and lean, trying to put on muscle, right? This lady's starting from a different place than most other people, male or female. This is the point he's trying to make. She also obviously has very good genetics. That's why she's an actress. That's why she's pretty. It's not just her face. Her body dimensions are kind of optimal, let's say.
She doesn't have a Brazilian butt lift. She doesn't have ass or boob implants. She looks like a normal athletic woman who's 40 years of age who takes care of herself. And so many people have seen her online, perhaps doing a front double bicep, looking like Coach Greg, thinking, wow, it's Photoshop, CGI, enhanced. It's not that she's taken steroids, it's that her photos or videos have been altered. Using these deep fake type videos, you can make anyone look like anyone else. It's not real. And so if you're watching these videos thinking, oh, I want to look like that, or you're seeing Natalie Portman thinking, oh, she must have used steroids, and you're seeing her 6 months later thinking, oh, she clearly went off the gear. Look at all the muscle she lost. She gained a little bit of body fat. She still has the muscle she had. She's just not pumped up with the best angles with Photoshop. And let's check out this photo of Natalie Portman with well-known powerlifting model Stephanie Sanzo. You look at the comparison, and many people believe Stephanie's natural, and look at her photo in compared to Natalie.
There's no comparison here, right? There is no comparison. The lady on the left clearly is hotter. I mean, at least physique-wise, let's say. I don't know about the face. But her body's clearly more developed, right? She obviously works out way more. She's worked out far longer. most likely much harder. She's also probably younger on top of it. I'm not sure on the age, to be honest. The point is, she's different, clearly very different. This is the point. What Natalie Portman has done is much more achievable, let's say, especially if you're starting from a certain point, right? That's why she can do it in 4 months. That is why.
Powerlifting model Stephanie Sanzo. You look at the comparison, and many people believe Stephanie's natural, and look at her photo in compared to.
So what somebody cleverly did, they just put the two pictures together. So when it says fake photo, the photo on the left is real and the one on the right is real. They just merge them together so you can see the differences in the physiques.
Natalie. And I get it, this has been photoshopped in, but does it look like Natalie Portman has a ton of muscle in comparison to a bikini-style powerlifter, Stephanie Sanzo? No. And so the next time you think a woman's on steroids and so on, think to yourself, is this real? How would they look next to other women? Has this been photoshopped? Have the photos been altered? Is it CGI? What camera angle did they use? Did they enlarge the muscles in any way? Gone are the days when seeing is believing, and so just take it for what it is. It's just people on a film acting, doing their thing. Their bodies don't represent what they look like in the real world.
You know, the funny thing here, right, is that if you're trying to look like these people, one of the reasons you can't look like them is because they don't look like themselves, right? I don't know if you guys remember, or maybe you didn't see the video when I interviewed my first coach, the bikini model. She clearly explained this. Photos are taken at certain times of the year when people are prepped for the photographs, and they take thousands of them and then they just release them throughout the year, right? They don't, when you see somebody in a bikini picture, they might have taken that shot in December or vice versa. Similarly, when actors or actresses are doing a scene, they're prepping for that one scene where the shirt is off or the top is off, you know, or they got a bikini on or whatever. They're prepping for that scene. They're going to pump up before, the muscles look just right, the camera angles, the lighting, the this, the that. That's why when you see them normally walking on the beach and the paparazzi taking pictures, they look less impressive, for lack of a better word. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about all of this. I'll drop the link. Feel free to call in if you want to talk about this. And hit that like button. Likes are free. Please hit the like button. I think I finally remember this time early enough. Hit that like button. All right, let's see what we got going on. See who joined us since I've started. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Positive Therapists. Hello again, Needs Watches. All right, so let's see. So Tamika says, looking forward to this too. Natalie has been my girl since the professional. Yeah, that's when I first saw her too. Yeah, I loved that show. Had a very sad ending. Yeah. Yep, Igwe's daughter said it as well. That movie made me sad and uncomfortable. Why did it make you uncomfortable? Definitely made me sad, but that movie was incredible. I haven't seen it in so many years now. I should watch that again. Maria Really People says, hello all. Hello back to you, Maria. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat, or better yet, call into the show and ask me face to face. And you don't actually have to cam up. Camming up is optimal, let's say, but you don't have to. See any other chatting in here? Igwe's daughter says craziness. I agree. Skincare Do's and Don'ts says 4 months is a short time to transform. Yes and no. The key thing is where she's starting from, right? Plus, when you throw in the other things as mentioned with camera angles, photoshopping, and prepping for certain scenes, right? Because just think of it, if you go to the gym, you know 30 minutes, hour into the workout, you look better than when you started. That's literally the best you can look. Minus maybe when you wake up in the morning, right? If you're a dude and you look in the mirror and you look at your arms like, man, look at my muscles, they're popping. And you wish they look like that all the time, right? Something similar happens to you ladies as well when you're working out. If you look in the mirror, you're like, yeah, everything is looking tight because you're fully warmed up, you're lathered up, right? So similarly, actors and actresses do this before the scenes. They prep. It's just like when people are going on stage for competitions, bodybuilding shows, bikini shows, they prep backstage before they get on stage. They don't just walk up there cold, for lack of a better word. They're prepping, right? Igwe's daughter says, tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Yes, this is true. Greg and I are on the same wavelength there. Tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So, I mean, the main purpose of this video is just to show you, how people can be. It's both realistic and unrealistic. The key thing is it depends on your starting point, right? My previous starting point, there's no way I could transform in 4 months. That's just not possible, even though I got all the advantages of being a guy. Her, on the other hand, she's always been slim. She's never been fat. She's always been slender/slim. So all she did, put on a couple pounds. That is realistic, maybe 1 or 2. And more importantly, if you lower the fat a little bit, what muscles you do have will show up more, right? So for example, you ladies that want to have slimmer arms per se, if your body fat goes down, the arms will get slimmer. They'll look better, right? It's not that you got necessarily more muscle in your arms. So hopefully that helps you guys. Let's see. Let's see what Maria really people says, but some of the men have said that when they take those muscle scenes where you can see everything, they don't drink water at all for like 48 hours or longer. No, not necessarily. There's different things to do with hydration. That is true. And some people have unfortunately gotten in serious health problems because of this. But it's not that they're not drinking for 2 straight days. They're probably heavily modulating how much water they intake, literally taking sips. I believe Robert Pattinson recently said when he did the Batman, he was counting his sips of water, let's say. Because, yeah, it does make a difference, right? It's ironic. If you get too much, you're bloated. If you don't get enough, you're also bloated. Because if you don't drink enough water, your body will hold on to the water. And ironically, does make you look bloated, like your stomach, for example. So it's complicated. It's complicated. Igway's daughter says it was really Stansfield, Gary Oldman that made me uncomfortable. He was such a slimy. Yes, he was. Gary Oldman does play a good bad guy. That he does. He does. Let's see if I got any other questions going on in here. Like I said, it was a pretty simple show and topic and idea. So if everything is clear to everybody and nobody has any particular questions about this, what's real, what's not real. Let's see, skincare do's and don'ts says, can progressively lifting heavier weights help with muscle gain? Also, will it cause a weight increase? Very good question. Thanks for the question. So your first question, yes, it will muscle gain. You do need progressive overload, as in you need to be lifting heavier and heavier things to grow your muscles. This is correct. That is definitely a thing to do. Think of it this way. It's like if you get a cut and you have a scar, you get scarred, right? That's your body's way of preparing to defend itself the next time around, or at least make that area tougher, let's say. Similarly, you lift heavy things, tear down the muscle, your body's going to respond. It's going to be stimulated to build more muscle. Your body's like, oh, we need to lift heavy things. Let's build more muscle. Similarly, when people do lots of long distance running, they tend to get smaller. Like if you do a ton of running, you will literally shed some muscle eventually. You don't tend to see big muscular marathon runners, right? They tend to be very lean. Our shouldn't say very lean, very slim, because they not necessarily have to be lean. The body adapts. The body will adapt. For sure. Good question. Skincare do's and don'ts says, on average, how much muscle should a woman just starting to strengthen expect to gain in a year? That varies quite a bit. Could be 2, 4, 6. It really depends. I think his numbers are pretty accurate because gaining muscle is very difficult. It is very, very difficult. That's why when you go on these gimmicky weight loss things and you lose it, especially you ladies, it's going to be hell to get it back. It's going to be very, very difficult, right? Because when you go on these gimmicky things and you lose 20 pounds and 5 of that is muscle, man, that could take you 2 years to get back, right? That could take you 2 years to get back. And this assumes you know what you're doing, and most people don't know what they're doing, so the odds are they won't. So yo over time, slow every time they go up and down and up. Each time they have less muscle and less muscle, which makes it then harder the next time around to transform themselves. It's a vicious cycle. It's a very vicious cycle. It's very difficult to gain muscle. He wasn't exaggerating when he said if a dude gained 12 pounds of muscle in a year, That'd be fantastic. I mean, it gets to a point when you build muscle. If you gain 1 in a year, you're happy. No exaggeration there. Muscle is very, very hard to build. Very precious. Very precious. So you got to make sure you eat enough protein. Got to eat enough protein. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? See, we got any new comments? Maria Really People asked, is there a way to not have that awful pain after working out? I have recently put on a ton of weight and I need to lose it per my doctor, but I hate that feeling where I can barely walk or move. So yes and no. Yes, you can if you know what you're doing. And what I would say is this. Let me use myself as an example. What held me back over the years when I was fat was my ignorance and my pride or arrogance, let's say. I didn't know certain things. I didn't know what I didn't know. And some of the things I thought I knew were true were not true. So it's like a perfect storm, let's say. So that's just no bueno. They're just terrible, right? And then some kind of pride or arrogance saying, oh, wow, I'm smart. I went to a good school. I went to Notre Dame. I can figure it out. Wrong. Needed professional help, right? Do not be afraid to get professional help. If you're a guy, you don't cut your hair, you go to a barber. If you're a lady, most likely you don't do your hair. Go to the hairdresser, right? You wouldn't go to court without a lawyer. You wouldn't jump on a plane, write a book about flying and decide you can fly yourself. You wouldn't do these things. So don't try to believe that all these years you are unsuccessful in transforming yourself. Magically, one day you're just going to know what to do. That is highly unlikely. You need to be realistic. So first thing I'd say, Murray, is hire somebody who can put together a good meal plan for you that's customized for you, workout program, and potentially supplements. So regarding the pain part, the part where you can mitigate some of the pain, there's supplements you can take. So for example, depending on your diet, you may be deficient in magnesium. You could take something like Natural Calm Magnesium. Let me bring this up and show you. Very good for helping with that problem you're talking about. Magnesium, I like to say, is the #1 or #2 mineral most people are deficient in. So let me bring this up and show you. You can get this at almost any supermarket. For sure, you can order it on Amazon because that's where I'm going to go now to bring it up. Tastes good. It can also help with sleep. It's called Natural Calm for a reason, all right? Okay, so let me switch back and share my screen. This is a very good question, Maria. I haven't had that one before, but I know a lot of people suffer from this. And that's another reason some people don't want to lift weights. They're like, it hurts too much. And what you're referring to is called DOMS, D-O-M-S, delayed onset muscle soreness. So for example, today's Wednesday. If you did legs today, it hurts a little today, hurts more Thursday, but it really hurts on Friday. That would be that. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. Hopefully you can. Can you guys see the screen? I believe so. Let me check. Yes, you can see the screen. So as you notice, I recently purchased this myself. So anything I recommend, I actually use. I don't just recommend things for the hell of recommending things, right? And if I don't actually use it, I will say this. So I actually use this. It works fantastic. 2 teaspoons, mix it in some water, not much, like this much water. Drink it before bed. It can be right before bed, 30 minutes or whatever. It doesn't matter. You will notice a difference. For sure, you'll notice. Guaranteed, Maria. You will notice a difference. You'll notice a difference. So definitely try that. Very good question. And if you can barely walk or move, Maria, there's other things going on. Yeah, this is maybe, if you call into the show, we could probably have a discussion about this, but I suspect your diet is also pretty off, way off, which is because if you can barely walk or move, then something is most likely very wrong with your diet. And your workout program is probably not optimal either. Either you're doing too much or doing the wrong things, or you're doing too often, but I can't figure this out just from your message. So I've dropped the link. Feel free to call in. We can get in more detail there if you like. Most likely you're not getting enough protein. So if you're not giving your body the raw materials to repair itself, then you're just going to be suffering in pain. But you should not need to barely walk or move, because I'm pretty sure you're not working out crazy intensely, right? If you're just trying to lose weight, you should not be in this point where it feels like it's debilitating. Something is wrong there. Also, you're then much more likely to not continue, or in this case, you don't want to do it because you're dreading the pain, right? And lifting weights is a great way to transform your body. Great way to transform it. Thanks for the question. Pretty good question. Hello to Before the Billions. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hello, D.I. Grifter. Welcome to the show. Yaya Suba says, let me bring this up. You can't really get away from all pain during exercise or lifting. Lactic acid and natural byproducts sees to that, right? Yes, this is correct. This is correct. I mean, if you didn't feel pain and your muscles, lactic acid didn't build up, you just could keep doing things forever. I could just keep curling and curling and curling and curling, but eventually that stuff hurts too much, right? You'll eventually stop. Your body will like, stop. And also, I don't know if you have a good stretching program either, Maria. That may be another problem. There's so many permutations, right? Because there's only so much I can go off just a single comment in the chat. This is why, guys, it's great if you call in. The discussion is a lot easier to fix your problems. And this is actually free advice, too. So take advantage of it. Hello, Uizimana Angelique. Well, welcome to the show. Yaya Suba further says, plus lifting creates micro tears in the muscles so that they can regenerate bigger and stronger. That's going to hurt. This is true. This is true. Like I was trying to do my analogy, which I was kind of butchering with the whole thing about scar tissue, right? You get a cut. If the cut is bad enough, your body will scar as a means of protecting itself. Let me drop the link again in case anybody wants to call into the show. Yep. So let's say Igwe's daughter says, want to gain more muscle to boost RMR. That's resting metabolic rate. Yes, muscle is like oil and gold. It's always a commodity and super precious. That's a good one. I like that. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Nice. So Igwe's daughter is referring to your resting metabolic rate. That's the amount of calories you burn just resting, not doing anything, right? When I was obese, mine was a terrible 1,100 calories, which is like that of a child, basically, like a 5-year-old kid or a 3-year-old kid. Now it's 2,100 calories, which is why when I go on vacation, I can eat 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day, including alcohol, and not gain weight. Sometimes I've lost 1 to 2 pounds. For those of you who would love to be able to do that when you go on vacation, hit me up. Go to my website. Sign up. Hire me. I can show you how to do that. Don't be like the old me. Don't be like the old me. Don't waste years trying to figure this stuff out on your own, right? I had professional coaches. And by professional, I mean International Federation of Bodybuilding Professionals. Few people get to that level. I will never get to that level myself. So these people look the part, and they definitely were pretty knowledgeable. Let's see what else we got going on. I feel like I've missed things, but no. So yeah, Maria, what's that whole saying? No pain, no gain. Yeah, no pain, no gain, right? There's only so much you can do. So all these little gimmicky things about, lose weight without working out. I remember a friend of mine was insistent that she was going to try to do that, lose weight without working out. I'm like, okay. Spent a good while trying to explain to her why this was, yes, you can lose weight without working out. This is true, but, not transform without working out. Let me rephrase that, let's say. Because yes, eating healthy and you move around, but to think if you're overweight that you're going to transform and not put in some kind of physical effort is very misleading. And if you're the way I was, where you're obese, you know, your doctor telling you need to lose weight, etc., you're definitely going to have to work out. It's unlikely that diet alone will do it for you. Or if it does, it's going to take very, very long. That's the other thing, right? Nobody wants to spend several years to transform. Working out plus diet will speed things up noticeably versus just working out only or diet only. As a matter of fact, it's difficult to just do it with a working out only, which is where I went wrong and many other people go wrong. Working out is like dunking in basketball or driving in golf. It's a sexy thing. That's what everybody wants to talk about. But at the end of the day, it's all about the diet, right? It's calories in, calories out. Because on this channel, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
Because we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
That's how that works, right? Okay, I'm going to drop the link one more time. Just to double check if we have any other questions or comments. If I have no other questions or comments, I'm going to call it a wrap for tonight. Good questions tonight. Thanks, Maria. If you have any other questions, throw them in. Or like I said, optimally, it sounds like for you, calling in would be optimal, let's say. Don't be shy. I don't bite. I look back through the comments. I don't see anything else in here. Nope, I don't see anything new. Nope. All right, so I think we had a pretty good show tonight. So later's my massive mega long now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that is goodbye, my people. Peace.